Greetings to Sir Vijayan and my fellow viewers. My name is Parveen, and today I will be presenting the outline of my essay that I have created for task 1, which is essay writing assignment. The topic that I have chosen for the report is using data and information from credible sources on the reasons of unemployment among new university graduates in Malaysia and possible remedies to the problem of unemployment. This presentation will go over each component of the essay in great depth. Therefore, without further ado, allow me to begin my presentation. So, before we look at the essay components, we need to know what kind of essay that we are going to create. So, in general, there are 4 categories of essay, which is argumentative, expository, descriptive, and narrative essay. This topic will cover in the under expository essay. So, the expository essay is a type of academic paper that discusses one specific topic in detail. This genre aims to provide readers with all the information they need to understand this particular subject easily. Basically, expository essay structure contains an introduction paragraph, body paragraphs depending on how many ideas that we would like to present, and finally a conclusion paragraph. Later, when we get into the essay, I'll discuss each criteria for each paragraph. Proceeding on, we must also be aware of the proper format for creating a report. This is significant since the format of an else essay also plays a significant role in our overall grade. Hence, a properly formatted report begins with a title section that serves more like a front page or cover page of the report, which includes details such as the author's name, the title of the report, and also the date prepared. Following that, we also have abstract, which is summary, introduction, findings, which is more like the body of the report, conclusion, and lastly, appendices. So thus, now that we understand the nature and the format of this essay, it is critical to combine the criteria of an expository essay and also the format of a report to create a flawless report. So now, let us begin with the abstract of this report. So basically, an abstract is a summary of the essay, or in this case, this report, that includes the main points, the conclusion, and also the recommendations concerning this subject. Because it provides a general overview of the report, an abstract section should be brief. This is because some individuals will only read the summary to just skim the report. Thus, it is essential that we include all pertinent information. It is also always preferable to write this as the final part so that we can include everything, including any last minute additions. So, as you can see in this report, a summary needs to include all the elements such as the major points, which is the line states like caused by strict hiring standards, high income expectations, and the rise of artificial intelligence. So the next element that we should include is conclusions. These results will provide insight on how the Education Ministry might better prepare recent graduates who continue their job hunt for employability. And the final element which is important is recommendations. So the sentence which is, it is hoped that a reform to the academic higher education curriculum would be taken into account to satisfy the demands of stakeholders and the labor market for increased graduate employability. So as we can read, we can see that those sentences satisfy the needs of those elements. So that is the abstract part of this report. Next, we will get into the introduction part. So An introduction for an essay or a research paper is the first paragraph which explains the topic and prepares the readers for the rest of the work. Because it is responsible for both the reader's first impression and also the setting stage for the rest of the work, an introduction paragraph is arguably the most important paragraph of any writing, either when it comes to an essay or in this case, this report. So, in this report, we have to explain the problem and show the reader why this report is being made. We can also give a definition of the terms that is not included in the title section and explain how the details of the reports are arranged. So, as I've mentioned earlier, the criteria of an expository essay type needs to be aligned with this report. So basically, when we are writing an introduction paragraph in an expository essay type, it should contain some elements and criteria. So the first criteria that the first element or criteria that we should include is the hook sentence. So what is a hook sentence? The hook sentence is the first sentence of the essay in the introduction part. It should lead the reader into your essay, giving a sense of why it is interesting to read the essay. To write a good hook sentence, we should avoid overly broad sentences or long and dense sentences. Hence, in my report, I have started it straightforwardly by stating the issue, which sounds like the reason college graduates in Malaysia have significant unemployment rates. So as you can see, this sentence states the issue directly. Then we write a brief background information about the issue that we have stated. So for my topic, I have chosen a news article from the Star which states that in 2021, almost 41,467 Malaysian college graduates were unemployed, which is stated according to Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin. So I feel that this information is necessary for the reader to understand the subject in discussion. The final element is the thesis statement. A thesis statement is usually as the final sentence or the second last sentence of a paragraph. It tells the reader how you will interpret the significance of the subject matter and what to expect from rest of the paper. So in simple words, it introduces all the main ideas that we are about to talk or write in the body paragraph. So for my report, the thesis statement sounds like Malaysian university graduates have high unemployment rates for many reasons, such as strict hiring requirements, high salary expectation, and also the advent of artificial intelligence. So that is how I ended the thesis statement of my introduction paragraph. Next, we will take a look at the findings of this report. So this is the main section of this report. As we can see, the previous sections need to be written in a plain English, but this section can include jargons from your industry or the topic that we are writing. So if you are wondering what does a jargon means, it is a special word or expression that is used by a professional or a group that are difficult for others to understand. So in simple words, we can say that jargons are specific words which are most commonly used in a specific topic or in a specific industry. So when we are writing the findings part in a report, there needs to be several sections with each having a subtitle. So for instance, usually when we are writing a report to state the findings, we would start writing by 1.1 and the first point. And 1.2 goes to the second finding and 1.3 goes to the third finding. So that is the format of writing the findings part of the report. And also, informations in these findings usually are arranged in order of importance, with the most important information coming first. So based on the findings that we got, we have to arrange it according to the finding which we think that is most important and to the least importance. And this can be affected according to the understanding and preference of the author. So now let us go into the first finding of my report. So, sorry. So based on the findings and understanding, the first cause of unemployment among fresh graduates is due to the stringent hiring standards. So this is what we call as a topic sentence, which I've stated just now. A topic sentence is a sentence which explains the topic or introduces the idea of the topic. So, sorry. I will also, as I'm going through the structure of this paragraph, I will also explain the topic in detail. So, based on my findings, companies frequently have stringent requiring standards, and they may be hesitant to hire potential applicants who do not possess a particular degree or previous experience working in that relevant industry. So, this will restrict the possibilities available for recent grads who are interested in venturing into new industries or who have a varied skill set that is not immediately related to their chosen course of study. So this is where we add on the supporting evidence to the point that we have stated. So besides that, the Malaysian labor market is highly segregated by sector with a little crossover between many subsectors. So as a result, it can be difficult for recent graduates to use their acquired talents in other contexts. For instance, we can say that certain graduates, like those with degrees in engineering field, may struggle to get into fields like marketing or finance because they lack the requisite expertise. To make matters worse, the rigidity of the employment market might make it impossible for recent graduates to pursue the interest and passion they develop while in school. Not only that, the rigidity of the job market might put companies in a position where they are unable to obtain the qualified candidates they require to fill open positions. So this could put companies in a position where they are obligated to hire who are not best fit for the position, and also could result in job opening going unfilled. So with all this supporting evidence, we should also provide analysis for those evidence, or in simple words, examples. So in my report, I've stated a study that states that majority of people have about 12 different occupations over the course of their lifetimes, and 32% of adults between the ages of 25 and 44 have pondered switching careers at some point in their life. This information further validates and strengthens my finding. So furthermore, the analysis has also led to the findings for solution to the issues that I stated above. So here are some solutions which I have suggested. So a solution to this problem would need businesses to be more receptive to applicants from marginalized groups and to invest in their employees' growth through mentoring programs and other means. This means that employers should be open-minded in receiving applicants from a different set of skills or different fields, and once they're hired, employees should be given the employees should be given more guidance and practice according to the field of work. Sorry. In addition, educational institutions have a responsibility to provide students with the transferable skills and experiences across disciplines, and policymakers can encourage job market adaptability by encouraging the emergence of new economic sectors and the cultivation of a more varied workforce. So finally, we end the paragraph with a conclusion remark. So what is a conclusion remark? A conclusion remark is a small conclusion of that particular paragraph, which indicates emphasis on the point and shows a transition to the next idea. So the conclusion sentence of this report sounds like: Graduates would have more options for finding meaningful work if the recruiting process was less rigid, and employers would have an easier time finding the employees they need to expand and thrive. So that is how I end the first point in my report. Moving on to my second cause, which is higher income expectations from fresh graduates. The sentence structure is still the same. Okay, we start the paragraph with the topic sentence, which I stated earlier, and then we provide supporting evidence and also analysis of to support those evidence. So let me explain this point. So many recent graduates enter the workforce with unrealistically high expectations for their starting wages, only to be left feeling deflated when their first paychecks fall far short from their expectations. So, the supporting evidence, with the false impression that their education and experience entitle them to a greater salary, many recent graduates are reluctant to settle for a low-paying positions. So, since fewer jobs are being considered by graduates whose salary expectations are high, it can be challenging for them to locate into a suitable employment. And some graduates may also feel that accepting a low-paying job could harm their career prospects, making it harder for them to move up the career ladder in the future. Moreover, they also believe that they should be compensated fairly enough for the time and money that they have devoted for during their process of degree and their studies. So, based on the further analysis that I've done in this for this point, the reason for this phenomenon to happen is because there is a false perception among many graduates that lower paying jobs are less desirable and less prestigious than those with higher salaries. As a result, they may hold out for better opportunities even if it means remaining unemployed for a extended period of time. So, to overcome this mindset, graduates should keep in mind that the employment market is extremely competitive and that many companies value applicants who are prepared to work hard and develop experience over immediate financial benefit. Students who are willing to start out at the bottom of the pay scale in order to obtain valuable experience and prospect valuable experience in their industries are the ones who will ultimately prosper. They'll get to show their true worth to the prospective employers while also laying a groundwork for a successful professional future. The government has also taken various initiatives like raising the salary rate for recent graduates to address the requirements of these groups financially and to tackle the issue of unemployment. So, according to the Salary and Earnings Survey report of Malaysia, based on the year 2021 and 2022, the average monthly wage for workers aged between 15 to 24 has risen from RM 1,547 to 1,659. So there is a huge difference in the pay scale. So moving on, lastly, the conclusion remarks for this paragraph goes like, while it is obvious that the recent grads would like to make a lot of money in their first jobs, they should keep in mind that learning the ropes and laying the groundwork for a successful career are equally as vital as making a lot of money, which will help them succeed in the long run. So that is how I have ended the second part of second idea in this report. So the final cause of unemployment based on my findings in this report is the advent of automation and artificial intelligence. So the advent of automation and artificial intelligence is another emerging concern that has a significant consequences for the job market for fresh college graduates. So this is the topic sentence of this paragraph. So upon stating the topic sentence for this paragraph, I have provided the definition of AI as an additional information for the readers. So according to Frankenfield, the term artificial intelligence (AI) is commonly used to describe the ability of computers to act and think in ways that are similar to those of humans through the use of complex programming. Now, moving on to my supporting evidence. So, based on my research, it is said that many human jobs are being taken over by AI systems, which could lead to a decrease in employment opportunities for recent college graduates. The reason for this occurrence is because when compared to human labor, automated systems are often save more time and more money while completing tasks in a greater precision and safety. This is incredibly evident in manufacturing and data entry sectors where operations are repetitive and predictable. Robots and other automated systems, for instance, are widely used in manufacturing sector for tasks such as assembling and material handling, and in the financial sector for tasks as loaning process and credit analysis, reducing or eliminating the need for human labor in both these areas. This phenomenon may also result in slower employment growth in some sectors and fewer the career prospects for recent graduates. So, to support my evidence, I have a quote from a very famous person in this industry, which is Mr. Elon Musk. So, according to Mr. Elon Musk, he predicts that computers, intelligent machines, and robots seems like the workforce of the future. So this seems like a very serious issue. So considering all these issues that I've stated, solutions to this problem should be implemented as soon as possible. So the first solution which I suggest is, while the rise of AI possesses a threat to graduates' ability to find a gainful employment, it is important to keep in mind that automation is not always bad for the job market and may possibly create new opportunities for graduates. For instance, software developers, data scientists, and other members of this tech community may find work in the field expanding as a result of demand to the develop automated systems. Therefore, students who are considering applying to colleges and universities should keep this information in mind and take advantage of this present circumstance by selecting programs that are related to science and technology. This will make it possible for a greater number of students to get employment as soon as they graduate. Additionally, the government may take fewer initiatives, including easing off on the pace of technological and automated change in the workplace, which would result in more humane and productive environment. Hence, new job opportunities may arise as a result of the growth of artificial intelligence, especially in tech-related sectors like software engineering and data science. So, to end this paragraph, I have emphasized on these solutions by writing, universities and governments should collaborate together to advance emerging economic sectors and provide new job opportunities. This will ensure that today's graduates have the skills and experience necessary to a wide employment prospect and thrive in the age of automation. So, that is the formation and structuralization of my findings on this report. Finally, we write the conclusion for the report. This is where everything comes together. It is also advised to keep this section free of jargon, as most people will read the summary and conclusion part. So, to begin the conclusion, signal the essay that is coming to an end by returning to the overall argument. So, usually people just restate the thesis statement, but rather than repeating the thesis statement, we can try to rephrase your argument in a way that shows how it has been developed since the introduction. So, for my conclusion paragraph, I have started by writing, to sum up everything that has been stated, the ever-increasing rate of unemployment of fresh graduates in Malaysia is an alarming problem that is attributed with many underlying issues. Next, we give a brief summary of the points that we've talked above in our report. So I have started by saying that a steadfast and meticulous approach must be taken to combat this issue. So furthermore, government bodies and universities must also do their part in aiding graduates with this issue. The government can show support towards graduates by offering their aid in an effort towards decreasing the unemployment rate of graduates through methods like promoting new field of professions. As for universities, they must make sure that the students live with necessary skill set to ease into a work environment in the future, and they must work together with society to make the employment process of fresh graduates less complicated. Employments, for their part, must be willing to invest in training and development for new graduates, and they must recognize the value that these young people can bring to their organization. So from an employer's point of view, they must be more considerate and flexible while recruiting new employees and give a fair chance to them even if they do not meet certain criteria as the workplace skills and more than just what's on the paper. So as you can see, that those points have concluded the overall efforts that I've mentioned, solutions to those issues that I've stated. Finally, we can conclude the paragraph with a sentence indicating a call to action. So this sentence expresses our hope or view regarding this topic. So the sentence goes like, a thorough strategy including all who are involved would be required to lower the unemployment rate among fresh graduates in Malaysia. So that is how I have concluded my report. So now we'll go on to the additional part. We'll look at the additional components of this report. So the first one is references. References can have a different meaning depending on the context. So referencing in academic context, meaning that it allows you to acknowledge the contribution of other writers and researchers in your work. So any university assignments that draw on the ideas, words, or research of other writers must contain citations. So referencing is also a way to give credit to the writers from whom you have borrowed words and ideas from. So this report contains several references from authorized sites and sources, and they are cited according to the APA 7th edition form. So for example, you can see, take a look at the example that I've stated in this slide. Moving on, next we have the appendices. So an appendix is a collection of supplementary materials usually appearing at the end of the report, a research paper, journal article, book, or other documents. So appendices typically include data and information that are too detailed to be included in the main point, but may be helpful for readers who want more details. So the appendix can include graphs, charts, statistics, and other data that back up your points. It could also include images or diagrams that illustrate your argument. So in this report, I have attached one appendix, which is a chart of principal statistics of graduates at Malaysia from the year 2020 to 2020. So that is the end of the report. So based on this outline and draft of ideas that I have brainstormed and created, I hope that I have produced a report which is correct and also beneficial for the readers. So that is the end of my presentation for today. Once again, thanks everyone for watching.